Hola. Today we want to practice the word tambien and tampoco. So it starts out something like the word Tom. So if we're looking at someone's name and the name Tom, just got to shorten it a little bit and say Tom instead of Tom. Just remember that Spanish speaker, when they're trying to speak English, would probably say Tom instead of Tom. So we shorten it. And then we already know the word bien, which means well. But if we put it together and we say tambien, it means also. And we know the word poco, which means little. Now make sure we don't say poco, but shorten it, poco. And then we get tampoco. Spanish has double negatives. That's different in English. So in English, we might say, um, I want to go also, or I want to go to, or I want to go myself. We could have those three ways of saying it. Um, Spanish, you would say quiero ir también. So if we look at the word for I want, quiero, to go, ir, also también. Now, if we are saying it in a negative, well, in English, there's two ways. You could say, uh, I don't want to go either. That would be one of the most common words. I don't want to go either. And so in Spanish, we would do a double negative. We'd say, I don't want to go neither. And so in English, it has to be positive or negative, but in Spanish, it can be double negative. So to say, I don't want would be no quiero to go ir tampoco. No quiero ir tampoco. Of course, you could use the word yo, which is not used that much. Yo quiero ir también. Yo no quiero ir tampoco. But really, most people are not going to use yo unless it's really to emphasize something. So let's look at some words, some of the verbs that we've done. Let's start with when we're doing el carro. What are some of the things that we do with el carro? Now, I've sent a list to my students. El carro, like conducir, manejar. Conducir is to drive, and manejar is also to drive. But they don't mean the same thing. They're just translated as the same thing in English. Conducir would be where we get the word conduct. Manejar would be the word where we get the word manage. You can also say dirigir, which would mean direct. Now that's used more in Portuguese and in Brazil, but maybe some Spanish-speaking countries might say dirigir. But if you direct or conduct or manage, it all means that you're in control. So they use these words to say you are the one in control of the car. So how would we say, I want to drive the car? Quiero conducir el carro. Now let's say, I want to drive the car also. Quiero conducir el carro también. Now, how would, again, let's say, I don't want, no quiero, to drive, conducir the car, el carro, neither, tampoco. So again, I want to drive the car also. Quiero conducir el carro también. I don't want to drive the car either. No quiero conducir el carro tampoco. Now we can change the word conducir for manejar and we get the exact same thing. So how would we do the same sentences with manejar? Quiero manejar el carro también. No quiero manejar el carro tampoco. Now notice that because el carro is a masculine word, if we wanted to just say it, we'd say lo instead of el carro. Quiero conducirlo. Quiero manejarlo. And it's actually written together like one word, like you write conducir and you put lo and you write it all together with no space. like one word, conducirlo, manejarlo. And I don't want to drive it. No quiero conducirlo. No quiero manejarlo. Now, let's use another word to wreck the car. If you remember, this one was chocar. Chocar el carro. And to wreck it, chocarlo. Chocarlo. Now, someone might say, I don't want to wreck the car. And you say, me neither. I don't want to wreck the car either. So, how do we say something like that in Spanish? So, let's start with I want, or actually, I don't want. No quiero, to wreck, chocar, the car, el carro, neither, tampoco. Uh, but someone might just start out with, I don't want to wreck the car. No quiero chocar el carro. And you can say, me neither. Yo tampoco. Yo tampoco. I don't want to wreck the car either. No quiero conducir el carro tampoco. So that would be how we do something like that. Now, let's look at the other words we had. So we had manejar, conducir, chocar. Let's